This is Tracy. Welcome to the, not welcome, but like, I don't know, 12 days on MTGGoddess. I just film a lot of videos, basically. Okay, so this video is talking about creatures who also act as removal, and I started this series. I have a couple of other videos. I'll link them in the description below. I think I have 2 other videos. I can't remember. I think I have 2. Basically, what the idea of it is having cards in EDH where they not only attack and do other things, but they also, like, do, like, kill things. They kill artifacts, they kill enchantments, they kill planeswalkers, they kill creatures, like, they do damage to your opponent, like creatures who not only are just a creature and do cool things, they got flying, whatever, it's like on top of, stapled onto that, they remove something on the board. So, it's a really cool series on my channel. I really like it a lot. I think it's, like, good to have these types of cards because you not only want your creatures to do things that help you out, but you want to stop your opponent at the same time. So, let's get into it. So the first card I'm going to talk about is one of the new planeswalkers, one of the new creatures that came out in the commander sets, and that is Breya. She's probably, like, my favorite, I think, out of all of the things. Atraxa is super awesome too. I can't deny that Atraxa is just, like, awesome. But Breya's incredible. So first off, you know, she comes in with 2 of the Thopters, so you can sack those 2 Thopters, so, you know, it gives you some fodder immediately to do one of these things. So you can sack 2 artifacts to deal 3 damage to target player. Boom, awesome, you can do that. But then, you can give something -4/-4 until end of turn. Now, this can kill a good amount of things, so, like, don't underestimate that, -4/-4. So that's awesome, and then, you know, you gain 5 life. So, like, she's just very versatile. She can do a lot of different things on top of, like, doing damage to your opponent's creatures. So the -4/-4, you know, kills Rex Sage, kills Eternal Witness, like, you know, gets rid of a lot of things. So, yeah, Breya's awesome. I love her. I think she's super cool. Okay, then we have this card that whenever someone plays it, I just feel like I need to get rid of it. Like, it's a card that someone plays and I'm like, yo man, gotta kill it. Card's great. Steel Hellkite. So, first off, it's a 5/5 flyer for 6. It's also colorless, so you just pop this thing out when you've got, like, Soul Ring and you can pay whatever for it, which is awesome. So, it has, you know, you can give it +1/+0 for 2, so you can make it really, really big if your opponent's, like, no blocks declared, and you're like, make it super, super big. That's awesome. Then you get to destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost X, whose controller was dealt combat damage this turn. That's really good. You're destroying each non-land permanent. Card is the nuts. I feel like the fact that it's just, you know, it's an artifact, it's really easy to cast because it's colorless mana, especially if you're someone who's, like, doing, like, 3 colors and, you know, you're really color sensitive. Steel Hellkite's a really good option for you if you really need some good removal. So, yeah, card's really good. Then we have, speaking of dragon stuff, yeah, Steel Hellkite's a dragon. Okay, we have Bellfire Dragon. I remember when I had Kalia and people were just like, Tracy, I can't let you, you know, hit me with Kalia because what if you have a Bellfire Dragon? And you're just like, Kalia, Bellfire Dragon? Okay, so yes, it has to deal combat damage to a player, but you can give this thing unblockable, like, seriously, you can give this pro creatures, like, whatever. It deals combat damage to a player, deals that much damage to each creature that player controls. People are just, like, terrified of this card. I feel like this is such an, like, underrated card, I feel. Like, I don't see a lot of people playing this, but it's really good. Yes, it's a little situational, you know, you gotta deal damage to the player, you know, whatever, but again, there's ways of getting around that. And, you know, just being able to do, like, a ton of damage, like, to kill all their creatures, it's just so good. Oh my gosh. I remember, like, people would have boards and I'd be like, Bellfire Dragon, and they have no flyers, and then I just get rid of their board. It was awesome. Card's great. Then we have Viridian Corrupter. Okay, so if you're that guy who likes playing Infect and EDH, this card's for you. But if you're not into that, hey, whatever, it's a 2/2, it's got Infect. EDTVs, you destroy target artifact. Now, I feel like people are playing more, I don't know, maybe it's just my play group, but people are playing more artifacts than enchantments, so I think she's a really good creature to hang around, because she's just a 2/2. And again, having Infect could potentially be relevant, potentially may not be, but the fact that she TBs, you get to destroy target artifact, people are playing Soul Rings, Thran Dynamos, things like that, you want to get rid of those. Or, you know, they're playing, like, what is that one that it's an artifact that untaps all your artifacts until end of turn? Yeah, that card, like, you want to get rid of things like that. Card's great. Okay, this is a really underrated card in my opinion. I run this card in Yisan, and that is Caustic Caterpillar. Let me tell you something, this card is so underrated because it's a 1 mana, and yeah, you gotta pay 2 to sack it, so theoretically it's like 3 mana to, you know, sack it to destroy target artifact or enchantment, but people do not see this coming when I'm playing Yisan, and they're all like, oh, and I'm like Yisan at like, Yisan for 1, and they're like, oh, well, you know, kill your Yisan, and it's like, oh man, like, they don't have a Rex Age, they don't have, I run the other one, Conclave Naturalist, I run that one too, so it's like 5 mana, so if I don't have that mana, I was like, I really need to wait in the early thing when I have, early game when I have Yisan, really to get rid of artifacts or enchantments, so I really like Caustic Caterpillar. It was one of the cards that I found that I was like, I really need this in Yisan, because you generate so much mana, you're playing green, but it's really good if you're playing like Yisan, or Yisan in your deck and you need to like fetch for it. It's a really good thing to get at 1 mana, so I like this card. Okay, then we have Ambush Viper. I feel like people talk about this card all the time when they're just like, modern Snapcaster Mage is an Ambush Viper to just block their big giant thing, whatever. But Ambush Viper is like really good. Like, it's so good. I feel like if my green deck, because the way that Yisan works is it's way more getting things from my deck, where now I changed it a little bit so it's more like that plus playing like a ton of cards from my hand. So, like, card draw and then just dumping your hand on the board. But Ambush Viper is, like, really good. It's 2 mana, it's got flash, and then someone swings with a just super gigantic thing and you just blow their thing up with Ambush Viper. Because it's not on the board, the fact that it's got flash is just really, really good. Hey, you know, have my 2020, have fun, and then you're like, Ambush Viper, bro. You block their giant thing, and their thing dies, most likely. Card's great. Okay, then we have Reiver Demon. Card is super mana intense. It is 4, 5, it's 8 mana total. It's a 6/6 flyer though. So if you're doing any sort of thing with like flickering abilities, or you're doing anything where you bring things back from your graveyard, like honestly, I feel like I could probably run this card in Tasigur, but I think I don't because it's for what is that? Quadruple? Yeah, quadruple black. It's intense, I think, of a card to cast. Hold on, this art distracted me. Oh, okay, that was not what I thought that it was. Okay. I just saw, like, magic art, and there's all these things, and I just get really distracted. Ooh, what is this card? Oh, someone made that card up. Okay. Yeah, card's great. But if you're in, like, mono black, and you just need a board wipe, and on top of that, after it does its thing, you know, destroys a bunch of things, it's like a 6/6 flyer, which is, like, huge, so, yeah. Okay, then we have Intrepid Hero, and I have seriously been thinking a lot recently about how I really, really, really need to do a deck tech for you guys on, Darian, King of... I can't think of the other piece of that right now, but Darian is amazing, and one of the cards that Justin, when he played this deck, and he played it a lot more in the past, and I'm really sad because this deck was sweet, it was like doing damage to yourself with like Acorn Catapult and things like that. So it was like soldier themed and it was great. So this card like was so good because he had like things in there where like his things had vigilance, like, you know, so he could like attack with it and like whatever, or like untap it in some ways, and then it just was like each turn, like potentially a couple times a turn, he was just destroying my stuff. And I remember like playing angels against it and I was like, you're destroying all my big angels because I don't have indestructible yet. And yeah, Intrepid Hero is like really good. I think it works in that right like mono white like soldier deck. Maybe like red white. I don't know. I haven't decided, but card's good. Then we have Reaper from the Abyss. Now, a little bit situational, you gotta have something die, so something like Morbid like basically has to trigger, but you destroy target non-demon creature, and then you're kind of left with like a 6/6 flyer for 6 mana. So it's non-demon creature, this is gonna kill just like the majority of things. I could see this running into an issue if someone has... I can't think of any magic card names right now, but it's the 7 mana demon where an ETB, Runescarred Demon, like, if you're trying to kill that, but like, for the most part, this is just gonna kill a lot of things, and then you're left with like, this huge body, and not only is it a huge body, it's a flyer, which is awesome. Okay, this to me is such an underrated card because I think it's specific in those right kind of decks, but if you have, well, first I'll tell you the card, Spitebellows. If you're running like Omnath, Locus of Rage, or like a Horde of Notions deck, like elemental tribal themed, Spitebellows really, really needs to go in there because you have ways of bringing it back. What's super awesome about Spitebellows, and like what I love doing at Omnath, it's really good. It's like, I really like it in Omnath, is it's like, oh, Spitebellows, evoke it, do 6 damage to target creature, kill something, and then that goes to the graveyard, but then the elemental is considered dying, so when I do 3 damage somewhere, so if someone has like a 9/9, I'm like, do 9 damage all to your thing. Sounds good to me. So yeah, Spitebellows is really good. Or if you run 5-color Horde of Notions elementals, which I feel like not a lot of people do, but Paul does it, and it's really sweet because you're like elemental and then it dies because you evoke it and then you can bring it back with Horde and then deal another 6 damage somewhere. Yo, combos, that's awesome. Not broken combos, but fun combos, so I think that's sweet. So yeah, Spitebellows is like really good, and the fact that if you're doing any sort of like graveyard recursion, card's really good for like ETB type stuff. Yeah guys, that was it for talking about. I just totally blanked on what I was even talking about. Actually, creatures who act as removal. I'll talk to you guys later.